Good morning, everyone. So we started OOPS, right? In the OOPS, we completed OOPS basics. So in the OOPS, we have the OOPS principles, right? In the OOPS, we have the four principles: encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, and polymorphism. Okay. Today we'll discuss about the inheritance. Okay, what does it mean by inheritance, and what is the need of the inheritance? We'll try to discuss about the inheritance. Inheritance. Okay. First thing is definition. Inheritance meaning, the first thing is definition. Inheritance meaning, which is the process of extending the properties from one class to another class. Okay, I would say which is the process of extending the properties from one class to another class, from one class to another class, from one class to another class is called inheritance. Inheritance. This is clear. Inheritance basically, the purpose of inheritance is, which is the process of extending the properties from one class to another class. One class to another class is called inheritance. Okay. The next thing is, we will use the extends in the keyword, which will make the relation between two classes. Okay. We will use extends keyword. We will use extend keywords. Extend is the predefined keyword. Extend is the predefined keyword which is used to extending the properties from one class to another class. Extending the properties from one class to another class. Are you guys clear with my pointer? Another class. Okay. So here we need to remember from which class we are extending the properties. That class is called super class, or you can say base class, or you can say parent class. From which class we are extending the properties? We are extending the properties is called we can say super class, or we can say base class, or we can say parent class. Parent class. So from which class we are extending the properties is called super class, base class, or you can say parent class. Okay. The next point you can remember in this case. The class which is extending, the class which is extending the class is extending the properties is called child class, or you can say base class, or not base, child class, or you can say subclass. Okay. The class is extending the properties is called child class or subclass. From which class we are extending the properties, that class is called superclass, base class, or parent class. The main purpose of inheritance is which is the process of extending the properties from one class to another class. One class to another class. Okay. Now we'll try to understand inheritance. We can try to understand with in three cases. One case is with respect to variables. One case is with respect to methods. One case is with respect to constructors. Okay, what is the need of inheritance? Why we are going to use this inheritance? We'll try to understand one by one. Okay, so first we'll try to understand with respect to inheritance, with respect to variables. Inheritance with respect to variables. With respect to variables. Okay, the main purpose for all the three cases is same. process of extending the properties from one class to another class. Okay. For example, here I will show you some demo. Here we have the one class, right? Class name is demo, and this is the scope of the class. And after this, we have the one more class, public class, and here we have the student. Okay. Here I am taking two properties. One property is string name. Okay. And here one more property I am taking is int id. Got it? And third property also I am taking like as some institute name, string institute name, anything. Okay. I am taking institute name, right? If you observe here, this is the two classes we have. Demo is the one class, student is the one class. Now I have taken three instance variables. So if you see here, the same thing, if I write like this is a good, this is a good one, meaning already these properties are available here, right? I'm i'm copying this one, and then I'm saving this one. I'm saving this one. If you see here, here we have the two classes. One class is demo, second class is the student. Demo class is having already the properties are like string name, int id, and string institute name. Okay, the same properties if I can I use in another class also? Hmm? Yes, we can use. But if you use that one, if you use that one, then that why we need to take already the variables are already holding one class, right? So if you are already the variables are initialized in one class, if you are again you are taking, then that code is called duplicate code. Duplicate code, or we can say redundant redundant code, or we can say boilerplate code. Boilerplate code. This is the duplicate code. Why I am saying duplicate code? Meaning this property is already available in the another class. Another class. So the properties are already available. If you are again you are using the same properties in a different class, then that is called a duplicate. Why? Because the properties already existing in some other class. Those properties already existing in the some other class. If you are using the same properties in different class, then that is called duplicate code. Duplicate code. So if you are writing like this, that is if you are writing like this, you are completely violating the OOPS principles. You are not following the standards. You are not following the standards. So you are not following the OOPS principles. You completely violating the OOPS principles. Okay? You completely violating the OOPS principles. So whenever you are writing the like programs, you need to follow the standards. So this class is already having the properties, right? If you are no need to write here, so we need to make the establish between this class and this class. How will you make the establishment between two classes? I will show you. I will use MS Paint, then we'll try to understand like that. I'm taking MS Paint. Okay. The demo is the one class. So I'm copying this demo code from here to here. This is the demo code. This is the one class, right? This is the one class. Okay, this is one class. I'm making, I'm creating one more box inside here. This is the one class. This class is having the three properties. Okay, three properties. I'm taking one more class with this one student class. I'm taking this one. Okay, I'm pasting the same thing here. I'm increasing the font size. Got it right? This is the one class and this one is the one class. So if I use the same properties here, then that is the duplicate code. Then instead of using this one, how can I establish the relation between two classes? We will use extends keyword. We will use extends keyword. This is the different class. Now I am making the relation between two classes with the help of extends keyword. With the help of extends keyword. Are you guys clear with my point? So this is the purpose of extends. With the help of extends keyword, we can make the relation. Now in these two cases, which one is the parent and which one is the child class? Demo is the parent class, student is the child class. From which class we are extending the properties, then that is called parent class. Okay, the class is which class, the class which is extending the properties, then that is called child class. Then that is called child class. This is the parent class, this is the child class. If the class is having already the properties, we can use we can use those properties. No need to write more time. If you write more yeah, once again, what it will happen? So that is also work, but you are completely violating the oops principles. You are not following the oops principles. We have to follow the oops principles. Okay, if you write like this, you are completely violating the oops principles. Okay, we have to follow the oops principles. So what is the purpose of this one? Basically, this already available here, right? So this code we are reusing. So the main purpose of inheritance, which is code reusability. So that is one point you should remember here. The main purpose of inheritance is code reusability. Code reusability. Code reusability. Are you guys clear with my point? So I will show you. I will take one Eclipse and then I will show you there. With we are doing with respect to variables. Okay, I will show you. I will take two files there itself, and then we will write some. We'll take some in the workspace. We'll try to write. Here I'm taking two classes. One is the parent class and second one is the child class. So simply you can click on the package and then you can control and then you will get the pop-up box. There you can select the class and then here you can give the class name. So here I'm taking the parent. Parent is my class name. Okay. Now this parent is having the properties are like string name, and then I would say next thing is int id. In case of parent, you can take any name. Okay, normal example I am saying string name int id, and then any other name string student. Oh, we can try it with these two properties. Okay, next thing is I'm taking control n, and here I'm making the relation between parent and child. So here I'm taking the child, right? Okay, now you guys observe this parent class is already having the properties, right? So if I write the same properties in another class, not only child, in any other class, if I write like this, then what will happen? It will work, but it will work, but this is the not recommended way. This is not recommended way. If you write like this is called duplicate code. Duplicate code, or you can say redundant code, redundant code, or you can say boilerplate code. Boilerplate code. Are you guys clear with my point? If you are writing like this, if you are following this approach, this will work, but this is the not at all recommended. Not at all recommended. Instead of doing this one, Instead of doing this one, we will establish the relation between two classes. How will you establish between the two classes? Basically, with the help of extends keyword. With the help of extends keyword. Okay. For example, here I am initializing with some names. For example, here I would like to mention some name, and then here also I will mention some ID. Okay. I'm saving this one, and then okay, this property is already available there. And now what I'm doing, I'm removing this one, and here I'm establishing between relation between two classes. How can I establish between two classes? Extends, and then we have to mention the parent class. Okay, now this class which is having the properties implicitly these two properties. Are you guys clear with my point? Now the child class is I would say having the implicitly two properties. One is the string name, second one is the int ID. Okay, fine. Now if here I will take one more also string, like other name I am taking institute name. Okay. Some here I am mentioning some such. Okay. Here I am mentioning some such. Okay. Now you tell me, this is the property, right? This property is coming, which is belonging to child class, and now we have the two properties, right? These two properties are coming from parent. Now total child class is having three properties. One is this one, this is explicitly, and it is having two implicitly properties as well. Implicitly properties as well. Okay, these three are the instance variables, right? If I want to access the instance variables, how can I access? How can I call? We need to create the object. Okay. So simply for creating the object, where will you create the object? Where will you create the object? We need to create the main method. Why only main method? JVM will understand. JVM will know only main method. From there onwards, you can create the main method, and then onwards, you need to call main method. Inside the main method, we have to call. Which class should I call? We have the two classes. One is the parent class, second one is the parent class, right? So among those two classes, which class should I create the object? We need to create the object for the child. Why? Because the child is holding three properties. Two properties from parent class, one properties from child class. So always we have to create the object for the child class. So how will you create the object? New operator. New is the operator which is used to create the object. Okay. Child. So object got created inside the heap memory. This object I cannot reuse anyway. That's where this object I am storing in some reference variable. Okay, this reference variable data type is the child. Are you guys clear with my point? Now I want to access, I have successfully created object. Now I need to access three instance variables. How can I access? C dot int name. If you observe here, these two are coming from parent class, and this is coming from child class. These two are coming from parent class. Okay. Name. Okay. Next thing is, this is the property, right? String name. I have to mention string name. C dot name. Name. Yeah. We have to save that one, and then I have to mention C dot name. Main method. Okay. I have to save this one. C dot. You can take C dot int ID, and then I have to mention, we'll take sysout statement. Inside that one we'll mention C dot ID. Okay. Next remaining things also, here only I am mentioning. So id, and then I am doing the concatenation, and then next thing is c dot institute name. Okay, next thing is I am doing the again concatenation. Concatenation meaning string plus variable is called concatenation. Next thing is I am doing c dot name, c dot name, c dot name. This is clear. Parent is having two properties and child is having uh, explicitly. This is explicitly. Those two are implicitly. Explicitly. Those two are implicitly. Finally, this is having three properties. And how will you access the instance variables? You can access the instance variables by using the object. So I have created the object. I am printing those. I am printing those. This is clear. And if I save this one, if I execute this one, you will get the result. Run as Java application. Okay, you are getting the values. Okay, this is one approach. Now if you see what I am doing, so initialize always uh, in the instance variables, we need to initialization is optional, right? So I'm not initializing here, and here also I'm not initializing. Here also I'm not initializing. Where is this one? Yeah, here also I'm not initializing. Okay, fine. Now I need to create the objects. Uh, Now I need to initialize the instance variables. How can I initialize? C dot C dot why C only? Why? Because this is the object, right? Every object will maintain copy of the instance variables. If I not mention, so if I use this one, Control Z, if I print this one, then what should I get? I will get the default values. I will get the default values. Are you guys clear with my pointer? Zero, null, null. Okay. Instead of getting the default values, we have to initialize the values. How will you initialize? C dot int id equal to some value. Okay. And in the similarly, C dot institute name equal to some name you can mention. Okay. Similarly, C dot name equal to every object will maintain copy of the instance variables. That is the point how to remember here. Okay, if I save this one, if I run this one, if I run this one as Java application, you are getting the results. You are getting the results. So this is with respect to this is with respect to variables. This is with respect to variables. Are you guys clear with my point? Next concept, inheritance with respect to methods. Okay, we'll try to understand with respect to methods, right? Now here I am taking the methods instead of taking the variables. So variables is done. Now I am doing the methods. I'm deleting all the things. Now we have the two classes, parent class and child class. And then here I am taking the method void m1 method. Okay, and from here to here I am taking, here I am mentioning sysout statement. Here I am mentioning parent m1 method called parent m1 method called. So this is some dummy message, can take anything. Parent m1 method called. Okay, I'm saving this one. So if I write the same method in here, then what will happen? You are completely violating the OOPS principles. You have to follow the standards. You have to follow the standards. Okay, you have to follow the standards. If you are writing like this, you are completely violating the OOPS principle. You are not following the standards, OOPS standards. So that's where instead of writing this, already this class is having one method now. Why we need to write one more the same method in another class? You are writing, the what will happen? The lines of code will increase, and that is not recommended way, not at all recommended. of that one, here we can make the relation between two classes. Then what will happen? Whatever the parent is having the properties, child is also have. Now here I will take one more method, M2 method, and then from here to here, this is the scope of the M2 method. Here I am mentioning sysout statement. Sysout statement. Here I am passing child class M2 method called M2 method called. Got it? Now the child is having two methods. This method M1 is the explicitly having, and M1 M2 is the explicitly having, M1 is the implicitly having. So these two are the which methods? Instance method. If I want to call the instance method, how can I call the instance method? We have to create the object. For which class should I create the object? Child class or parent? Child class. Okay. I need to take the main method. Inside the main method, I need to create the child object. Okay. Now child dot m1 method, and then child dot m2 method. M2 method. Are you guys clear with my point? This is clear. This is with respect to methods. I'm saving this one, and then if I execute this one, you will get the result. We will get the result. So the main purpose of this thing is code reusability. So once I write the code, I can reuse multiple places. Once you write the one code, one logic in your program, that logic you can reuse entire your project. So I am reusing the code. I am already writing the code. Why should I write all the times? So instead of writing all the times, I'm using the same code in all the files. So M1 is having some logic. So here I no need to write, if I want to M1 logic, no need to write one more time. So I'm making the establishing the relation between two classes. So through that I can access those properties also. This is clear, guys. This is with respect to methods. Okay, we have the concept that is with respect to inheritance with respect to constructors. Inheritance with respect to constructors. So in case of constructors, you have to remember one point is, so what is the syntax for the constructor? So I'm removing these things again. This one also I'm removing. Now we are discussing about the with respect to constructors. What is the syntax for the constructors? What is the syntax for the constructors? It will have the return type. No, no more return type. Next, class name and constructor name should be the same. Okay. Parent. Okay. Class name and constructor name should be the same. Okay. Here I am taking some dummy missiles. So here I am taking like parent constructor executing parent constructor calling. Similarly, I will go to my child class. Here also I will take I will take child. I will take the constructor with respect to child class. Here what I am taking system source statement, and here I am mentioning child constructor calling. Child constructor calling. Okay, this is clear. I am saving this one, and then these are the constructors, right? Then how can I call the constructors? We have to create the object. If you create the object, no need to call the constructors. By default, those creating the object meaning calling the constructors only. Calling the constructors only. Okay, I have created the object. Then You guys tell me, if I execute the this file, child class file, then which class constructor should be executed? Are you guys clear with my point? We have taken two constructors within different classes. We are making the relation between two classes as well. Now I am creating the object. Creating the object meaning calling the constructor only. Calling the constructor only. When I am executing this file, then which constructor should be executed? Hmm? Demo is the class. If there is no demo, right? Then we have to mention child. Child. Okay. So object got created. Then which constructor got executed? Child. So I'm executing this one. Now if you see, so in case of constructors, always parent constructor should be executed. Why? Because calling the creating the object meaning, we have to create the parent properties. How will you call the properties, parent properties? So JVM first it will allocate memory to the parent. Then only you can access the properties of the parent, right? So in case of constructors, we have to remember this is the interview perspective. There two classes we have. One is the parent class, second one is the child class. Two classes we have in the constructors. At the time of calling those constructors, which class constructor should be executed? Parent class constructor should be executed. Why? Because calling the constructor meaning calling the object, creating the object meaning calling the constructor only. So when will you access the parent class properties? The JVM first it will allocate the memory to this parent class. So whenever it will allocate the parent class, then only you can able to those properties, right? So in case of constructors, we have to remember at the time of calling the constructors, parent class constructor should be executed first, and child class constructor should be executed in the next. So that is the remember here. At the time of calling the constructors, parent class parent class constructor should be executed first. Constructor should be executed first, and next child class constructor should be executed. Child class constructor should be executed. Constructor should be executed. This is clear. Next point is next important point is every class every class parent class is java dot lang dot object, java dot long dot object. Okay, if it is having the parent, if the class have parent class then java dot lang dot object will be act as a indirect parent class, act as a indirect parent class, indirect parent class. By default object is the super class for all the classes by default. By default, if the class is having the parent class, then java.long.object will be act as the indirect parent class. Indirect parent class. Okay. If the class don't have the parent class, if the class don't have the parent class, then java.lang.object will be act as the direct parent. Will be act as the direct parent. Are you guys clear with my point? Direct parent class. Direct parent class. So I will show you with MS Paint, and then I will show you this hierarchy also very important in the interview perspective. So regularly they will ask Okay. For example, we can assume here we have the class. Here we have the class. This is the, can assume the class name is demo. Class name is demo. This is the demo class, right? This demo class, if the demo class have the parent, if the demo class, this is the, I would say, you can say another class. If the demo class have the parent, if the demo class have the parent, then object will be act as a indirect parent class. Indirect parent class meaning super class for the parent. This, I will show you this one. So here we will make one more class, and then here I would like to take another one. This is the object class. Object class. This is the relation. This is the normal base class, child class. If the child class is having the parent class, then object will act as a indirect parent class. If the child class don't have the parent, then object will be act as a direct parent class. That is the point you should remember in this case. Here I am taking the one. This is the one scenario. This is the case number scenario. Case number one. In the case number two, this is the with the parent, and if it is having the don't parent, then what will happen? Object directly will act as a parent. Now this is the object, right? By default, object is the by default parent class for all the classes in the Java. Okay, here we have the 11 methods. 11 methods. These 11 methods are also very important. 11 methods. Okay, this object class which is available in java.lang package. Java.lang package. This java.lang package is also by default package. By default package. If you want to use any classes within this package, you can directly we can create those objects and we can directly access those methods. No need to mention import statement. Why? Because java.lang package is the by default package. If you mention or don't mention also, it can access those all the classes are available in this package. Okay, I will show you like that object class is very important, right? Java SC document, you can open that one, and then here you can go through java.lang package. Then if you scroll down, these many classes we have: class loader, class value, compiler, enum, float, number. If you see here, object we have the class, right? If I click on it, you will get the. If you read this one, all of you, uh, read all of you. Class object is the root of the class hierarchy. Every class has object as superclass. All object including arrays implemented methods of this class. So what does it mean? Object is the also one class, which is the object, which is the every class has the object as the superclass. Object as the superclass. In this class is having the 11 methods. Okay, those 11 methods are this one: clone method, equals method, finalize method, get class method, hash code method, notify all method, toString method, wait method, notify all method, wait method. This one, this one. These are we will use in the threading. Notify all, wait, notify all. These are we will use in the threading. So this one we will use anyway. This one hash code. So every object has unique code, right? Unique hash code, right? So how will you identify those unique hash code? We have the method. With the help of those method, we can use that one. Okay, equals also we will use anywhere. Equals hash code. These all are used anywhere, but specifically I'm saying, okay, these are the 11 methods. So these 11 methods are also very important. So object is the superclass. Every object has a superclass for all the Java classes. Okay, every class has object as a superclass. As of now, is clear. So we're done with the three variations with respect to variables, with respect to methods, with respect to constructors, with respect to constructors. As of now is clear why we are using the inheritance meaning. Code reusability. If you write the code at one time, you can reuse the same code multiple places. If you are writing the same code in the different file, then what does it mean? If you are joined as a 4 years of experience, 3 years of experience, you are working as a 5 years of experience, you are writing the same code in different files, then that person they can easily identify. You don't know anything about the Java. Okay, so you have to follow the standards. If you are writing like that, that will work, but that is the not recommended way. You are completely violating the, you are increasing the lines of code and you are violating the completely oops principles. You have to follow oops principles. You have to follow the standards. So we done with respect to variables, and then so classes having class members like variables, methods, and constructors. Okay, we done with three variations with respect to variables, with respect to methods, and with respect to constructors. Okay, got it? After this, we have the types of inheritance, types of inheritance, types of inheritance. Basically, we have the types are like first one is the single level inheritance, single level inheritance. Next one is multi-level inheritance, multi-level inheritance, multi-level inheritance. Third one hierarchical, hierarchical inheritance, inheritance. Fourth one, fourth one, multiple, multiple inheritance, and the last one, how the hybrid inheritance, hybrid inheritance, hybrid inheritance. So single level meaning where we'll have the only one level, only one parent and one child. We will create the relation between two classes. In case of multiple level meaning, there will be have the multiple levels. Parent, we can take some generations, current generation, parent generation, super parent generation. Like that, you can take. Hierarchical meaning, hierarchical meaning, only one parent having multiple childs. One parent class having one parent having multiple child classes, multiple child classes, child classes. Okay, next, multiple inheritance meaning which is not supported in Java due to ambiguity problem. I will show you what does it mean by ambiguity problem, which is not supported, which is not supported in Java due to ambiguity problem, ambiguity problem. Why the ambiguity problem meaning one child having multiple parents, multiple parents, multiple parents. Are you guys clear with my point? This is not possible in Java. Meaning this is not possible by using classes, but we can achieve by using the inheritance. But as of now, basically which is not supported in Java due to ambiguity problem. Why? Because if the child is, you can take the child one, and if you take the two parents, I will show you here. I'm taking the child one. This is the child one. This is the child class, right? This is the child class. And then you can assume I have the two parents, parent one and parent two. If I make the establish the relation between two classes, if I call, how can I call if I create the by using the object? If I call the child class, then the compiler, so which method it got executed? So here also we have the one method, here also we have the one method, here also we have the one method. Whenever we are calling the child class, then it will the JVM which one method it will execute. It will also confuse it will also confuse, like should I take the parent class method, should I take, we have the two parents, parent one and parent two, so which class method it will take, so it will also confuse. Why? Because they both are same, and which method it need to take. So this confusion is called ambiguity problem. So JVM also confuse which class property should I take and which class property should I execute. JVM also confuse. That confusion is called ambiguity problem. Okay, that confusion is called ambiguity problem. So that's where multiple inheritance which is not supported in the Java due to ambiguity problem. So these multiple inheritance and hybrid inheritance we can achieve with the help of inheritance, but through the classes not possible. Okay, these are the types of inheritance. So we'll try to understand the types of variables. First one is single level inheritance. Single level inheritance. Single level inheritance basically. So here generally you can class, we have the multiple hierarchies. Class B extends class A, and in case of multi-level, class C extends class B and extends class A. Class A. This is clear. And we have the hierarchical inheritance. Here, class C. Class C extends class A, and then class B extends, and here class B extends class B. This is the parent class. C is the parent class. Okay, class C extends. Class C extends properties A, and class C extends class not B. This is the parent, right? This is the parent. So one parent is having class C. Class C extends class A. Here class B extends class A. This is the thing. Okay, this is the thing. Okay, single level meaning which is also used to extend the properties from one class to another class, and the properties is class B to class A, class B to class A. So hierarchy should be, I will show you how the hierarchy should be. Single level inheritance in Java, where we have the diagrams, right? This is the single level diagram. Okay, class B and class A. We are extending the properties from class A to class B. Okay, clear? And then, so I will show you. Like as of now, we will write in the all the programs are comes under the single level only. So for this, I will take one more file. I will take the classes. The student class is one class. Student class, and here I am taking the properties. The properties are equal to string name. Okay, next thing is here I am taking one method. The method is studying. The method name you can take anything. Okay, student is here I'm mentioning sysout statement. Here I'm mentioning he is studying. He is studying. I'm saving this one, and then the same one more file I would like to create. I'm mentioning here the class name is the test. The class name is the test. Test is already existing, so I'm taking demo test, demo student, demo test. I will take the demo test. Okay, how can I make the relation between the student and demo test? We will use the extends keyword, right? Extends keyword, and then the uh, the name is student. Now I can make the relation, and now here I am taking the method is here doing is the method name, and then I will take something. Here I am passing some dummy messages here. Demo test doing method, demo test doing method calling. Okay, now this is two are instance methods, right? How can I call instance method? You need to kill the main method, and you have to create the object for the child class demo test. Okay, and then I have to write, I have to save the file, and then this one we need to store in some reference variable. Here I'm saving some reference variable, and this class name is the demo test. Okay, now I need to call the d dot. You can call methods and you can call variable. So in this case I am not initialized, right? We have to initialize the variable. How can I initialize? D equal to some name. Okay, okay, this one I have to print by using the sysout statement, and then d dot name. Okay, and then next I need to call the two methods. One method which is coming from studying is one method, right? And then second method is this is single level. We are making the relation between only one parent. Okay, Saj is doing is studying about a story. This is clear, guys. Single level is clear. Anyone has any confusion? Single level is clear. Any confusion? Single level meaning only one level. Your parent and you. Your parent and you. Okay. Your parent and you. Then in that case you can say single level. Next thing is multiple levels. Multiple levels meaning there you can include three generations. Three generations. For example, you, your father, and your grandfather. Your grandfather will give some properties to your father. Your father will give some properties to you. In that case, how will you write the programs? So we will use the multi-level. Multi-level meaning more than one level, you can say multi-level. Okay. For example, the same thing I will take grandfather is the one class, father is the one class, son is the one class. Three generations. Okay, single level meaning only two generations, multi-level meaning more than two generations. Okay, here I am taking three generations and then I will show you how we'll write the programs on it. I will create the package. Okay, so here I am creating three generations actually. Grandfather. Next thing is here I am taking the method. In the grandfather I am taking M1 method. Okay, void M1 method. So instead of this one, you can take a land, properties, code, any method you can take. M1 method, and then here I am mentioning the statement which is grandfather. M1 method is calling grandfather. M1 method calling. Do you have English class right today? Sorry. Guys, most of them are attending online without taking the permission. So is there any reason? So as of now, today, whoever is coming offline and whoever is giving taking the permission, so those only will give the attendance today. Okay, this is M1 method is belonging to grandfather. Next thing is I am taking the father control and I am mentioning class is the father and okay, class is the father, and then here I am mentioning I'm taking void M2 method. Okay, M2 method. Here I'm mentioning sort statement. Here I'm mentioning that I'm passing some dummy message which is father M1 method calling. M1 method, M2 method, yeah, M2 method calling. Okay, now I need to make the relation between two classes. Extends grandfather. Grandfather meaning the grandfather properties who will take. Absolutely, father will take, right? The same I will write programmatically, grandfather. Okay. And similarly, I need to take one more class that is the son class. Son, and then here I will take one more class which is having M3 method, void M3 method, and from here to here, this is the scope of M3 method, right? And here I am passing some dummy message out statement, and here I'm mentioning here I am mentioning M3 sun M3 method is called sun M3 method is called. Okay, here I need to make the relation between normally grandfather properties father will take, father properties son will take. This is the hierarchical, right? Here I will mention father. Now this son is having three methods. One method is coming from father, one method is coming from the grandfather. So such kind of relations you can achieve with the help of multi-level inheritance. Those all are instance methods, right? So how will you access the instance methods? Always you have to create the always you have to create the object. You got it right. So such kind of relations you can achieve with multi-level. Okay, these all are instance methods. How will you access those instance methods? You have to create the main method, and then inside always you have to create the object for the child only, and then uh, we have to store this one in some reference variable, and some dot we can, if you see, we can able to access all the methods, but this method is coming from the grandfather, this method is coming from the father, this method is coming from the so like this you can achieve three generations properties with the help of multi-level. Okay, so m1 the same thing remaining also sun dot m2. Okay, and then the third thing also sun dot m3, sun dot m3. This is clear. So I'm saving this one. If I execute this one, you will get all three methods execution results. Oh, grandfather M1 method calling, father M2 method. How can I get in coming multi-level? Third one we have the hierarchical. Hierarchical meaning only one parent. So here I will tell one example. For example, one father is having the siblings, son and daughter. The father want to decide, like the father is having the properties like gold and land. The father want to decide land should give to son and gold should give to daughter. The same thing, how will you write the programmatically? How will you write the programmatically? Are you guys clear with my point there? One father is having two properties. Okay, so the same thing I will write the programmatically. Here I will take the control and parent. I will take the parent. Okay, parent is having the two properties. Two properties meaning I am taking two methods. One method is gold method, and then second method is land method. Void dot land. So the parent want to decide land should give to the daughter, and I would say land should give to the. I will take the so statement. Okay, here I would like to mention parent gold method, gold method calling, and next here also parent the same thing. I'm copying from here, and then I'm pasting here. Here I am mentioning parent land method calling. Okay, now the parent is having two siblings, two kids. One kid is a daughter and one kid is son. Okay, so I'm mentioning name as the son name is Raju and the daughter name is Rani. Okay, I'm making, and then the class name is, I'm taking the Raju and Raju. Okay, now the Raju don't have any properties. You can assume like that, and I am making the relation between. I'm so Raju want to inherit those properties. How will you inherit it? We can make the extends. Okay, extends parent, parent. Okay, we can extend the parent. Now we can call the parent land method. I have to create the object new Raju, and then this one we need to store somewhere, and then we have to call Raju dot Raju dot. Next thing is land. Next thing is land. Okay. Similarly, you can do this in the same as well in case of Rani. In case of Rani also. So I am taking the one more. Take the class as Rani. The same process I will do Rani, and then here also we need to extend the properties parent. Okay, next thing is main method. We have to create the main method, and then new Rani, and then we have to create the object. We have to store somewhere. The class name is Rani, and we have to call with. Uh, okay, you have to call with or dot called. So this is the way parent is having one parent, child can take multiple. Such kind of hierarchical we call hierarchical. Hierarchical meaning head. If you in the headmaster, meaning in the 10th standard we have the headmaster, right? Every school has only one headmaster. So you can assume like that. Hierarchical meaning only one head. You can inherit the properties. That is the thing, okay? So this is the things we have to follow. I'm run this one. We can so which class we are running. So the parent and child class method should be called. Okay. So that's it today. I will stop the live. So everyone, please go through that